Hi, I want to say thank you so much for letting me come to your class and teach you how to make felt. I had so much fun working with all you wonderful artists and your wonderful teacher. You have a beautiful school, and I think you guys are going to be some of the best artists ever. A lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Now, your teacher, Mrs. Sangata, gave me some questions, and I didn't get a chance to answer them while I was there, so I've had them home, and I wanted to try to answer some of them for you. And some of them are duplicate questions, so I may not answer your question, but it will get answered because I've answered it with somebody else's. I'm going to start with, I think it's the kindergarten class, Kate. Kate wants to know, where is my art studio? And she also says she loves my art. Oh, I thank you, Kate. I really like that. My studio is located in Lowell, Massachusetts, and it's a pretty big space. And that's where I do make all my felted garments and accessories. Now, Andrew says, how do you put the felt together? Why, Andrew, you know the answer, don't you? We start with the wool, and then we add water and soap, and we rub and we roll, and voila, we have felt. And, Ari asked the same question. And she wants to know more about my studio. Well, as I said, my studio is a good size and it's where I can make all my work. And let's see, Sylvia wants to know how old I am. Well, Sylvia, I am 65 years old. I know, I'm really old. And if you're lucky, you'll get to be as old as me someday also. And how many pieces of felt do you use? Well, Sylvia, you know the answer to that too already because you helped make felt. You know it doesn't start as felt. It starts as little fluffs of wool, and we combine it together with water and soap and a lot of rubbing. Let's see. Abigail, what kind of soap do you use? Well, the kind of soap I use is called olive oil soap. And I grind it up myself and I mix it with water so it makes that kind of sticky goo. And it's very, very good soap. It's very soft, very gentle on your skin. Ruby wants to know, how does the wool become straight? Once again, you know the answer now, don't you? By rubbing it and pulling on it, it becomes flat and straight and hard. Xander, what did you do when you were little? Well, that's a good question. I think somebody else asked me that too. Jonah asked me also, what did I do when I was younger? Well, I have always loved art. And when I was your age, I used to love to draw. I used to spend hundreds of hours of drawing and drawing. I would make paper dolls and all sorts of things. And Brooke says, your art is cool. Oh, Brooks, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And yours is too, as is everybody else's in the kindergarten class. Thank you. Now let's move on to, let's see, these questions are from, this one's from Daphne. Let's see. Do you only make clothes? Oh, how did I become a fiber artist? Where was I born? And when did you start making wool things? That's a lot of questions, Daphne. Let's see if I can answer them. Do I only make clothes? Mostly I make clothes. I do. Occasionally I make wall hangings, but mostly only clothes. How did I become a fiber artist? I became a fiber artist because I was using a kit that my kids had given me to make a scarf, and I fell in love with the process. You ever get a kit to make something? Well, that's how I began. And where was I born? I was born in Boston, Massachusetts. And I started making my felt things about 7 years ago. Before that, I was always painting and drawing. What is my favorite color to use? And once again, do you only make clothes? I don't know who wrote this question. Oh, and this is Gracie. I'm sorry, Gracie. And how much soap do you use? And how much wool do you need? Well, these are all good questions. Let's see, the soap isn't a lot. In the soap water that you were using, a little cup of water gets about a teaspoon of soap. And how much wool I use depends on what I'm making. So it could be a little wool or it could be a lot of wool. And what's my favorite color to use? Well, I really don't have a favorite color. I love all color. I think color is wonderful. And once again, do I only make clothes? For the most part, yes, I only make clothes. Let's see, this question is from Robert. Let's see. What places is beyond Chicago? Well, I've gone to California with my work and Canada. How do you get the felt to stand up? This is from Sam. Well, to get the felt to stand up, you have to get it really, you have to put a lot of felt. Remember, you guys only did 3 layers. If I want to make felt that's going to stand up, it's got to have like 10 or 12 layers. And it takes a lot of rubbing and a lot of rolling to make it really good and hard so it'll stand up. Let's see. This one is, I can't read the name, but maybe you'll remember the question. When did you start making felt? And is it fun and is it messy? Well, I think it's a lot of fun. And I don't know, I hope you thought it was fun too. And is it messy? Well, it's soap and water. It's clean mess, but it can be messy. And another question, do I smoke? No, I do not smoke. And this question is from, I'm not sure whose name it is, but hopefully you'll recognize your name. How many do I make a day? How big is your biggest one? How many do you sell a day? These are all good questions, yes. Well, how many do I make in a day? That, once again, depends upon what I'm making. If I'm making a coat, I can only make 1 coat a day because that's really big. And that answers the second question because that's the biggest thing I make is a coat. If I'm making scarves, I can make up to 12 a day. And how many do I sell? Well, to sell things, it really depends on the people that come to buy. So it can vary. Some days I won't sell anything I'm going to show, and someday I'll sell a lot of stuff. And I can't read who this one is. Let's see. It's Group E. Do you make socks? Do you work with other people? And do you teach classes for kids? Do I make socks? No, I've never made socks before, but though I have made slippers, so those are a lot of fun. And do I work with other people? Yes, I have an assistant who works with me about 15 hours a week. She's a student at the University of Massachusetts in Lowell, and she helps me 2 days a week. And do I teach classes for kids? You know, you artists are the first classes I've ever taught for kids, and I've had so much fun. I'm hoping I can do this again. Ria, I want to know about how much wool do you have, and how big is your studio, and do you work on art in the night? Let's see, how much wool do I have? Well, I have a lot of wool. I have probably about 200 pounds, which is a lot. And my studio is as big as your classroom, pretty much. And do I work on my art at night? Sometimes it depends. If I'm under a deadline, like I have to get something done in time for a show or for a client, yes, I will work at night if I have to. But I work generally all day long from like 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. And then I like to have my dinner, and just like you, I like to relax. Let's see. And Julian says, were people nice on your tour trip? What were you like you were when my age, and how old are you now? Oh, I already answered that, Julian. And as I said before, I'm 65, and if you're lucky, you'll get to be that age also. And were people nice on my tour trip? Yes, for the most part. I find most people to be very nice. And when I was your age, what was I like? I was very quiet. I was probably shy. That's why I like to draw so much, because I can draw and go into my own little worlds. Let's see. Now, what else do we have here? Okay. Oh, this is an interesting one. I'm going to hold this one up because this is Ellie. I think Ellie wants to know, when did I start making felt? I think that's what she's asking me. Ellie, I started making it about 9 years ago, and I have enjoyed every single second. Why did I want to be, oh, who's this from? This is Alicia. Why did you want to be an artist? If it takes more than 1 day, will you sleep that night? Why did I want to be an artist? It's the thing I love the most to do. It makes me the happiest. When I'm working in my studio, the time just disappears. I love making art. I just love looking at art. I like making art. I like watching other people make art. I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. If it takes more, I think you're asking about my work. If it takes more than one day. No, I don't. If it takes more than one day, of course I go to sleep. I let it sit on my table. The next day it's still there. I'll get up and finish it. And this is from Eden. Eden says, where did you get all the wool? I like your artwork. Oh, Eden, thank you so much. Where did I get my wool? I buy my wool from a company out in Washington State. It is merino wool, and it's very, very soft, as you know. And let's see, this is from Asa. What was your first art? Ah, good one. My first art was drawing. As I said, I love to draw, and it still is something I still do today. Drawing is my way of figuring out things, so I'll draw still today. This is from Lucy. How does it feel to be the best? Well, I don't know yet, because I don't think of myself as the best. I still think I'm learning. I think if you think you're the best, then there's nothing else to do. You're just kind of done. So I never want to be thinking of myself the best. I always want to be growing and learning new things. Maya asks, how do I get inspired? I get inspired by taking walks, looking at nature. I get inspired by music. I love all sorts of music. I get inspired by reading. I love to read. And I get inspired by looking at other people's art. I find the world really inspiring. And Cass asked, do you sell your art at, I'm not sure where this is, at Mass? In Massachusetts, maybe? Yes, I do sell my artwork in Massachusetts, if that's what you're asking me. I sell it at shows. I go to shows in Massachusetts, the Paradise Show, or Craft Boston. These are big arts and crafts shows where you could go with your parents or when you're older by yourself, and you will see all different types of artists like myself, not just making clothes, but making glass, making clay, making jewelry. And we all come and we set up and we sell for a couple of days. People come and buy our work. And that's the last question I have. And as I said, I want to thank you all for allowing me to come into your classroom and teach you. It has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And I really hope that you enjoyed it also. Take care. Bye.